Today we will be doing a video with our new Ruger Air Magnum 22 caliber pellet rifle. As you see from the box cover there, comes with a scope, comes with some pretty nice sights. Once I got the weapon home, took it out of the box, assembled it, did some test firing, and was quite pleased with the shot groups and was astounded by the penetrating power of the 22 caliber. So after reading some pros and cons about it on YouTube and watching several videos, I decided, well, I think I'll keep mine, and it's time to turn it over to the Mad Modifier strikes again. Well, the Mad Modifier has struck again. This time, the Ruger Air Magnum 22 caliber pellet rifle got a substantial upgrade. Took quite a while for me to do all of these upgrades, but I'm very pleased with the results. And there he is. He got a new scope. It's a 3 by 12 by 56 millimeter, big optics, gather a lot of light for low light shooting. I really like that, and I found those scope eye cups and purchased one of those, and well pleased with the way that it seals out all the ambient light from your scope. So no matter what kind of lighting condition you're shooting in, you have a very true sight picture from your scope. Now let's see, let's go to the front up here. I have did considerable work on the end of the barrel. First thing I did was removed the fiber optic sight. Took a little piece of wood and a little hammer after I removed the set screw, tapped it, came right off. I installed a compensator, which was not a bolt-on type replacement. Took several hours and lots of modifying to the end of the barrel to install the compensator, but I'm pleased with the results of it. Next, we went and purchased a barrel mount tripod. This was the hardest thing for me to get because they kept sending me the wrong kind. Finally, they got it right. Got it on. I like the way it stabilizes the gun. It's got little feet that have runners on them, and I've installed a little piece of vinyl tubing on those metal little cleats to help stabilize the gun on smooth surfaces. I'll see if I can't get a little better shot of those in a minute. I'll try to do a close-up of all the modifications. Next, as you see, I did install a sling. Went to the website for installing the sling mounts on these synthetic stocks. It really wasn't pleased with the information that I found, so the Mad Modifier had to put his thinking cap on. So I found me 2 pieces of wood, whittled them to size, placed them inside the stock, and epoxied them in place. Once they were dry, 24 hours or so, took a pilot drill, drilled a hole through the synthetic stock and into the wood chip that was epoxied inside. Then inserted the lug for the sling. Was quite pleased with the results. I actually took the stock after I had the sling mount on it, suspended it between 2 chairs, and placed about 25 pounds of weight off of the sling, and there was no problem in supporting 25 pounds. So the weight of the gun compared to the 25 pounds that I used to test the strength of the sling proved to me that my installation was a success. And I'm quite happy with it. Now, moving on back, you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, how the Mad Modifier, he likes little bags, little gadget bags. Well, I found another one and I installed it on the buttstock of the weapon, since it does not have an adjustable cheek stock. The little bag, I placed it at just the right height for my face, and found a little sheepskin pad that I put on top of the little bag there to rest my ugly mug on while I looked down that bad scope. Scope mounts were real high, and I could not find a buttstock or a cheek stock that was tall enough to compensate. So Mad Modifier strikes again. And if you'll notice, on the end of the weapon, I have replaced the buttstock with a slip over cover buttstock. Inside of the buttstock, once you remove the cover, I'll show you this in a minute. Once you remove the cover, you will see that inside there is a large space inside that synthetic stock that is open and is available for use for anything you want to carry. I plan on putting together like a one-day type survival kit, a little combat saw, some matches, maybe a little pair of stainless steel folding scissors, maybe a couple of band-aids, you know, just some miscellaneous stuff that you might need in the field if you were ever out there and something happened to you. Well, you'd have it available to you right there on your weapon. Another thing is, if you'll notice right here, I'm going to point to it. Right there, there is a screw-on cap. I found that a Thousand Island dressing bottle, one of the little small ones, that if you cut the neck off of it and you drill a round hole in that pistol grip there, that neck of that bottle will load right in there. You epoxy it in place and you have a screw on lid, and in that cavity there you can also carry additional supplies for whatever you want. At this point in time, I have made some pellet holders to carry additional ammo on the weapon in case, say, something happened and I lost my little carry bag or something. Well, I still got ammo on my weapon. And that is the extent of the modifications on a whole that I'll show you right now. In a moment, I will reset the camera, and I will be showing you up close some of the modifications in more detail. Like I say, the mad modifier has struck again. This is a close-up of the compensator that I installed on the end of the barrel. Like I say, had to remove the little fiber optic sight, remove the set screw, take a little wooden block and a little hammer, tap on it, and slide right off the end of the barrel. Now, installing this compensator was not a easy task. It took several hours of modifying the end of the barrel to accept this compensator. Took about 5 hours of sanding and grinding and cussing. But it's installed, and not real sure if there's been any performance or anything on the actual weapon, but it sure looks good. I like it. Next, we will be going to the bipod, and I will show you this bipod. It's pretty trick. We get the camera zoomed here where I like it. As you see, these feet on this bipod are long. I installed, I don't know if you can see it because I'm on the other side of the camera, a little piece of vinyl tubing right here that will keep the weapon from scrubbing around on hard surface. And it really works. I liked that idea, and it worked real good. Okay, going to reposition the camera. Bear with me. This is a 3 by 12 by 56 millimeter scope. Gathers lots of light. Very, very pleased with it. It is air gun compatible, and it was only about 70 bucks. Got it through Walmart online. Very pleased with it. Got it, installed it, zeroed it in, and just really like the sight picture. It's a mil-dot scope. That's what I wanted, and I have found out that a mil-dot scope quite useful if you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, go to YouTube and watch the videos. A couple of guys on there, they must be military snipers or something, but they really know their stuff. Follow their leads. You'll have no problem learning how to use a mil-dot scope. Now, on the end out here, as you see, I have acquired, this is a, they call it an eye shade. That's what it looks like, eye shade. And you get it, you install it on the end of your scope. It's got a couple little set screws on each side. Clamp it down, and it, like I say, keeps all ambient light from contaminating your sight picture. I was very pleased at its operation. Now, looking at the butt stock, let me zoom back out. The butt stock here has got a little bag. I installed a little bag and I installed it at the proper height for my cheek rest. I could not find a buttstock cheek rest that was tall enough to compensate for the tall scope rings. So the mad modifier strikes again. I installed a little bag. I had a little piece of sheepskin that was part of a wrist strap that was not being used from my photography equipment, and it fit right across the top of that little bag just fine. It's kind of nice to lay your old mug up against that little piece of leather instead of across that piece of hard, whatever that thing's made out of. I guess it's nylon or whatever. But inside of that, I manufactured a carry-all. Don't know if you can see it or not. I'll place it like right there. It has places for 7 types of pellet. Number 1, I have a large holder here for what I call my 0 pellet. Whenever I go into the field, I set up my targets, check my range distance, fire some rounds with my zeroing ammo, make sure my scope is zeroed, so I can then in turn use pellet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Each one of those pellets, different type, different weight, different type of head. And with the mil-dot scope, once you zero your weapon with your 0 ammo and you've made your test shots, you know that ammo number 1 shoots 1 high, 1 right. Ammo 2 may shoot 1 low, 1 left. So with your mil-dot, you don't have to do any adjustments. All you have to do is compensate in your reticle on your target, and you are on target. So pretty useful. These little they hold about 8 pellets, and they are also cleaned, washed, dried, and lubricated with penetrating oil that has Teflon coating in it. I also carry some of the Beeman 22 caliber cleaning pellets. They have been treated with the Teflon also. Run one of these through the barrel, get your barrel cleaned and coated with Teflon, then you have a pellet that is weighed, cleaned, and lubricated with Teflon, and you will notice that you will pick up about 200 feet per second velocity just by that little trick. I had no idea that it would cause that much of an increase, but it really did. And by weighing my pellets, making sure that all my pellets weighed the same, I was able to get shot groups that I was satisfied with at whatever the range I wanted. And you know how you'll fire like 5 and there'll be tack drivers, and then you'll have one that'll fly and it might hit the neighbor's house or something. Well, I found that the difference in pellet weight is what causes those flyers. Some of those might be as much as 0.4 of a gram light or heavy, and that will cause them to skew off target. But if you take the time, I know it's painstaking. I had to go down to my local head shop and buy one of them little gram scales. I'll show that to you in a minute. And I weighed each one of the pellets. Then all of them that weighed the same went into one pile. All of them that weighed either high or low went into another pile. So once I got my pellets that all weighed the same, Then I did my test fires against my known sight picture for my zero target. And that system has worked out very well. Don't have to do a whole bunch of calculating or anything. Let's say you're shooting at something, say at 30 meters, and you want to have a big heavy pellet like this guy right here. He weighs 22 grams. He's heavy. He's like throwing a bowling ball. And by using your mil-dot scope, you can compensate for the flight of this pellet, put a round dead on target without ever having to adjust your scope. Okay. Now then, that will conclude this part of the video. I will be showing you in a moment. I will remove the buttstock cover and show you the inside of that synthetic stock. Like I say, it's a big old open space, and it's just open for free space to be used any way you want to do it. So, as you can tell, the Mad modifier has been busy. All right. Continuing on, we will look at the buttstock and the modifications that I made to the buttstock. I took the buttstock plate off and looked inside, and there is a large cavity inside of that stock that's just free dead airspace. So the Mad modifier said, places to hide more stuff. So I got one of these slip-on buttstock rubber covers. Slides right on, slides right off, not a problem. Cost about $9, and I made some modifications in here, and this is the cavity that I will use to carry survival supplies, matches, fire starting equipment, band-aids, whatever in there. Pull on the string, the little cap comes off. As you can see, the little cap, it'll fit right back on in there. That is a deodorant dispenser. It had the oval ends that I needed, fit right in that cavity, fit right up in there just perfect. Use some epoxy to hold it in place. Then after it dried, took some black silicone, filled in all around it, hold it in place, and made myself a well in the buttstock of the gun. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's up in here. It's about, I'm thinking 4 inches deep, 2.5 inches tall, and 1 inch wide. That's a lot of space to carry stuff that you need in emergency situations, like maybe even a piece of paracord, maybe some band-aids, maybe some matches, maybe one of them little combat wire saws I'm thinking to go in there. Lots of little things. But then while I was looking, I had some more dead space, and I said, well, let's see what else we can fabricate. So I took some straws, just regular old drinking straws, and slid those in there. Found some other straws that would load right inside of those straws. Take a pair of hemostats, crimp the end off, take your lighter, seal the end of it off. Inside of the straw, I made a wick. I took a piece of it's like cord, and I slid it inside of the straw, and I put a couple of drops of kerosene, a couple of drops of lighter fluid, crimped it off with my hemostats, went to the sink, washed off all the residue so it didn't blow up on me, and sealed it off. Tied a string on it, slid it inside of the straw that's already there. So I have a wick of fuel that's that long right there for fire starting. And I was able to get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 wicks to start 4 fires carried inside that buttstock. These are especially good if you're in a condition where it's wet and your tinder is damp or what. Well, you've got this wick that will help you get your fire started. Just another one of the mad modifiers, crazy ideas, but it works. I tested it, took it out, took my fire starter, struck it 1 strike. All it took, poof, instant flame. And it burned for about 8 minutes. I was quite surprised at how long that wick burned. And it was quite hot. So if you're not a real good fire starter, it gives you plenty of time to work with getting your tinder and your coal and your sticks and kindling and everything all worked up into place. So whenever you do start your fire, you'll have plenty of time with flame to get started. Because let's say you were out and it started raining and you were a pretty good distance from home or your vehicle or whatever, and I always carry a poncho. So break out your poncho, build a fire, sit there and wait it out. So just another one of the mad modifiers, crazy ideas. Okay, let's talk about pellets. First off, I have found that this product that I'm showing you right here, this ZEP PTFE lubricant, multi-purpose, is excellent. Absolutely excellent. What I have done is I have taken and I found that I got a better deal with the Gammo 22 caliber cleaning cotton pellets. What I do is I take some of those, put them in one of these little dispensers like this right here, little bottles. Put a little squirt of that ZEP in it to saturate the pellet. So whenever I clean the bore of my rifle, I have a Teflon coated bore. Alright, next, my zero ammunition that I use is the RWS Superdome, and they weigh 14.5. So I have taken and got me a little container and I weighed them. They all weigh the same, and they've all been lubricated with the ZEP product, and these are my control pellet that I use to zero my scope in any shooting situations. Okay, Superdomes, very accurate, 10 meters, tack driver. Alright, let's see. Number 2 is a Gammo Master Point at 15.43. Again, another one of the little bottles. Holds about half a dozen or so of the pellets, and it will load right into it loads right into my dispenser. My cleaning pellets are in the first position. The master point are in position 2. Position 3. Now this is pretty trick. I stumbled onto this from TrenierOutdoor.com. You can buy sample packs of pellets. You can buy a 50 pack for about a little less than $4. So instead of buying a big tin of pellets, you can buy a small tin to see if you like them or not. These right here are Predator Polymags, and they weigh 16.0. And again, I keep them in a nice little dispenser, and they're labeled number 3. They go right in the slot numbered number 3. Okay. Number 4. Same thing. TrenierOutdoor.com. These are JSB Match Diablo Extra Heavy. They weigh 18.1. But I found that they all weigh 18.2. So they've been cleaned and washed and lubed, and they go in my carrier in the number 4 position. Number 5 is H&N Hunter Extreme. It weighs 19.9, and it's a hollow point, and it has a hex head cut into the hollow point of each one of the pellets. I don't know if you can see that or not, but these are pretty bad. I'm real curious to see what kind of damage these guys do. They go in slot number 5. And last but not least, we have the Gammo TS22 long range, and they're rated at 22 grams. Once again, I think there's 8 of them that fit in there, and that is located in number 6. So I have my zeroing ammunition. Got 50 or 60 rounds of that. That will fit right in the top right there. And then all of my other ammo load right into nice little carrying section. Then it will load right into my little pouch. And lock in place. Now then, I found that the key to doing this is this little device right here. Now I don't know if we'll be able to see this or not, but click, turn it on, let it come up. It will weigh, and that pellet there will weigh Anyway, you see, weigh each pellet, find the highs, find the lows, throw out the highs, throw out the lows, keep all the ones that are in the middle, because all the ones that weigh the same should fly the same. And I found that to be true. So once I've went through all of this to be able to find the ammunition that my rifle likes, it's been a while, but anything downrange needs to look out, because depending upon what kind of target it is, how far it is, I think I have adequate ammunition to be able to fulfill the need. And this is the Ruger Airmaster 22 caliber by the Mag modifier. Thank you.